Well, it is all NBA, Jenna, but not starting with the finals. I'm starting with Anthony Davis. Last weekend, it was caught on videotape, AD saying he hasn't touched a basketball since April 5th. That's more than 2 months, all right? Now, I'm not going to kill AD for that. All right, I've covered the NBA for over 25 years, and I've known many players who have a similar offseason routine where they don't touch a ball. But the optics, it looks bad, all right? The optics are horrible when you're coming off 2 subpar seasons by his standards and one in which you just shot 18% from 3. So if AD doesn't come out and have a great year, people will point back to this video and say, see, he doesn't want it. He should have been shooting the basketball. They may be right, they may be wrong, but they will definitely look back at that video. Now, LeBron James, his teammate, in the spirit of the Bud list, in the spirit of motivation, he put on Instagram this, what you're reading right there. Don't get it twisted, or get it twisted if you want. But AD's about to show y'all why he is him. Something like that. Where he's going to show off next year. All right, so that, LeBron's trying to motivate him, but that actually adds a little more pressure to him as well. So he's number 5 on the Bud list. At number 4, Draymond Green. In addition to not playing his best basketball, I won't go full Nick Wright, but I won't go full Steve Curry either. Okay, I get what Draymond is saying and his sentiment, but in saying that comparing playing the Celtics is disrespectful to LeBron James to compare it to matching wits with the King, that comes off as disrespectful to the Celtics. So I'm not one necessarily to believe Wild's in bulletin board material, but Draymond, for those that do believe in it, Draymond just gave the Celtics plenty. So he's got to not only play well tonight, but he's got to back up those words, because I think the Celtics will be coming for him and the Warriors. Not so much because of that, but that'll just add adrenaline to their game. All right, at number 3, let's stick with the Warriors and go with Jaylen Brown. All right, not to stick with the series. Jaylen Brown at number 3. Jaylen's got to show up. One, their backs are against the wall. It's an elimination game, of course. All right, but also because they need him offensively. He was their best player in the first 4 games of the series. And struggled mightily in Game 5. But he also has to guard Game 6 Klay. He's got to keep that Klay from emerging. I told you guys earlier, Klay shoots 49% from 3 when he is in Game 6 in the playoffs. So it's up to Jaylen Brown to make sure that doesn't happen. Because if it does, and Steph is on fire too, it's a wrap for these Celtics. At number 2, speaking of Steph Curry, Steph. All right, now, Steph is right now the clear-cut finals MVP, but he's coming off a bad game. We didn't make a three-pointer, 0 for 9 from Trey. All right, so he has to come out and play well. If they lose the game and he doesn't play well, now you're going back to Golden State with pressure on you to win Game 7. Everybody's looking at you because you struggled in the last 2 games. All right, but there's also been a little budding narrative, which I don't agree with, but it's out there, that maybe Andrew Wiggins is the MVP. And if Steph doesn't play that well tonight and they win, and Wiggins has another great game as he did in Game 5, could it be 2015 all over again when Andre Iguodala surprisingly won the Finals MVP? I don't think so, but you never know. So Steph needs to go out and deliver and seal the deal tonight, both individually and as a team. And at number 1, Wild's your favorite player, your favorite punching bag, I should say, Jayson Tatum.
No.
All right? He struggled, and Wilds wants to kick him out of club superstar. He won't accept my explanation that he's only 24 years old and he's going through growing pains. And he has not been himself. There is no question about it. And I got to say this, Wilds, even though he's only 24, and even though I've tried to comfort you by saying, look at the future, you'll look back at this and say, oh, it was a learning experience. When I look at the East and see Giannis, and I see Joel Embiid, And not to mention
Frisky
Kevin
Magic.
Durant, just because he's a little older. The Magic about to get Chet hungry? Probably not, but they're going to get somebody good. There's no guarantee that Tatum will get back to this place. I think they got a good chance, but there's no guarantee, that's for sure. And so he's got to try to make the most of it, Nick, by delivering tonight. Good news, in the spirit of motivation, 46 points, 9 rebounds last time he faced elimination in Game 6, of course, against the Milwaukee Bucks. So there is your Bud list.
Listen,
right?
I like the list. Steph, though, is the one I want to focus on. Because Steph Curry, again, there is this weird thing that's happening in sports media where folks are treating the 2022 finals like they're the 1962 finals, and it's hard to find tape on them, and you can just create narratives and lies. I've had to deal with the last couple of days. Oh, you think Steph played poorly in Game 5? Why don't you watch the game? I did, and he played poorly. Oh, Nick, the argument against Steph playing poorly is that because of the gravity and attention he demands from the defense, he opens things up for everybody else. That is true. It also, though, again, if you want to actually make a logical argument, not you, Brew, but the generic you, would mean Steph can never have a bad game. Because that gravity's never going anywhere. That attention's never going anywhere. That's always there, so he's just ineligible to have bad games? No, he, like anybody else, can have bad games. What he cannot afford, Wilds, is back-to-back bad games. What he cannot afford is for the narrative going into these finals to have been, can Steph Curry have a truly great NBA Finals? He's had good NBA Finals. He's never had a great NBA Finals. We thought we were on the precipice of it after Game 4, I believe, his best playoff game of his life. And then he responded with the first playoff game of his life where he doesn't hit a three. So Steph needs to play well, because I don't think Steph and the Warriors want anything to do with a Game 7. I do not think they want that pressure and that cauldron back. The last time they played in a Game 7 in the NBA Finals, it obviously didn't go for him. The last time they faced elimination in the NBA Finals, Steph didn't play well. So I think he needs to play well tonight, make Game 5 look like the aberration as opposed to Game 4 look like the aberration.
So I think those are all great points. I do have to bring the whole segment down a notch, though. Looks like we're going to have to cancel our trip to Canton and the Football Hall of Fame that we were all going to go to. I was going to pay for it, the staff included, everyone, to go see Hall of Famer Julian Edelman inducted into the Hall of Fame. But it looks like now, Broussard, I don't know if you were paying attention to this sports summit they had out of Croatia, Edelman said he might be coming back to the New England Patriots if we can show what he said. Said, he's been staying in shape. I don't know, we'll see. That's called a little teaser. We're staying in shape, but you never know. I'd probably go back to the Patriots. I love the Patriots. Foxborough forever. By the way, you can go to Julian Edelman's website and get plenty of Foxborough forever merchandise. So I'm putting the Hall of Fame on the Bud list. I know they had their plaque ready to go with, career playoff receptions. It was Jerry Rice, number 1. It was Edelman at 118. But now that plaque, you got to call the plaque guy and be like, hey, looks like when the Patriots make the playoffs and he gets more receptions,
numbers
we
wouldn't change.
Redo the plaque. That's another
Patriots
cost
next 5
for
years.
the Hall of Fame.
Playoff numbers ain't going to
So
change.
Edelman's back to the Patriots. Yeah. Too bad for the Hall of Fame. Looks like you don't have to wait, Broussard. Sorry to bring everybody down.
You know,
I feel okay about
this is the one thing you do that aggravates me as much as it aggravates Nick. Because Edelman has as much chance of getting in the NFL Hall of Fame as we do. As you and me and Nick and Jenna. That's how much of a chance he has of getting in the Hall of Fame. All right. Now,
not me.
I don't even know if he starts if he goes back to New England. Tom Brady's not walking through that door.
He's
That's
not
for sure.
coming back.
He should go to Tampa. If he wants to come back, he better go to Tampa Bay. He better if he wants any chance of getting on the field. All right. Nick, let me address your talk about Steph. Now, I don't think Steph had as bad a game as you do in Game 5. obviously you're right about the notion that it's true. I mean, there's a video going around of Marcus Smart face guarding Steph when Steph's 35 feet away from the basket and the ball's on the other side of the court. I mean, that is true and it is real. He does open things up for his teammates, even if he's not shooting well. But he played a good floor game. He had 8 assists. He had some great passes. His defense obviously was solid because they locked up the Celtics. He just missed shots. He didn't shoot the ball well, but he does more than shoot. He actually does. He's a great ball handler. He's a very good passer, and he's become a solid defender. So he didn't have a great game, don't get me wrong, but he didn't have just a horrific basketball game.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.